My character is an unnamed flapper girl who moved away from her family because they couldn't accept her for who she was. Her mother was very Victorian era, so the way that the flapper girl was acting and dressing was just not acceptable for her. So she had to move away from her family, and she went through a lot of challenges in her life, which you'll see throughout the journals. But she eventually meets the love of her life, John, and they start a family, and she eventually has a little boy. But life is pretty hard, especially through the Great Depression when she has to leave her flapper life. And she eventually dies at the end because she gets killed. I wanted to choose a flapper who was wild, but also like a really good person, not just like a stereotypical like wild girl or whatever. So she does act crazy, but when times are hard and she like finally meets someone, when she finally meets John, she you can really see how she cares for others and stuff like that. One of the challenges I had writing the journals was it was hard for me to add a lot of history to each journal because I was focusing too much on the AP Lang part of the essay. So like when I chose a journal entry, it was hard for me to add history to it. But I had to take a step back and really focus on the history part to get the job done. I enjoyed making the actual journal. So what happened to my character is she gets shot while holding the journal. So my journal entries are in an actual journal with a bullet hole and fake blood. So that was really fun making that. So now I'm gonna read one of my favorite journal entries about my character. So it's February 18th, 1932. Dear Diary, I didn't go through with it. John Jr. was born last month, and I'm so thankful to have him. He is the best gift I have ever received from this world, especially during these hard times. We have been fairly lucky because John hasn't lost his job yet. Still, he is basically going hungry trying to get food on the table and to keep a roof over our heads. John and John Jr. are the most priceless gifts I have had in my life. I am also grateful that John still has his job. At the moment, the country's unemployment rate is 24%. All of those Americans are suffering. Without jobs, they probably lost or will lose their homes. Some of those people are living in their cars or on the streets. Some people are living in Hoovervilles, which are basically a town of shacks. Knowing that my life is better than all of those people makes me feel guilty. It also makes me miss how it used to be. No one lived in Hoovervilles and everyone was partying their way through prohibition. I miss the flapper lifestyle too. No one can afford that lifestyle anymore, but I hope that one day I will get to call myself a flapper again. So that was a journal entry talking about after her son was born, she wasn't sure if she would have her kid because it'd be really hard to bring a child into the life they were living, being hungry and worrying about food and stuff like that. But she eventually decided to keep her kid, and it was the best gift she'd ever received. Thanks.